Being a sales professional has never been easy, and in today's marketplace, the challenges and opportunities have never been greater than before. You see, effective sales performance is not just about procuring a sale. It's about unleashing your full potential that allows you to give the highest and best contribution to the customer. The two biggest mistakes sales professionals make are, first, they try to react to a customer's needs and wants. The foundation of a great sales professional is to establish trust with a customer. An effective community representative is one that intentionally seeks to establish a trust-based relationship with new home shoppers by employing and skillfully using influence strategies. The second mistake sales professionals make is that they do not use a system of selling that allows them to effectively draw upon the strategies and tactics that will generate an exceptional performance, as well as provide an experience for the customer that is beyond their expectations. A top-producing sales professional is one that consistently uses an approach that allows them to not only sell more homes, but produces customers that rave with satisfaction. This result occurs because these professionals rely upon a system for selling. By using a system, you unleash your potential rather than straitjacketing yourself to an undisciplined and reactive approach to sales. The big question then is, how do I become a highly effective sales professional? To answer that question, let's climb out of the ground level details so we can view things from a mountaintop perspective, from where we can see what we really are doing and then challenge it. Just a few vital insights separate the highly effective sales professionals from everyone else. These mountaintop insights are captured in the Foundations program designed for the new home sales professional within Shea Homes. The Foundations programs forms what I call the circle of influence, a model for controlling one's individual performance and a framework for producing exceptional results by establishing trust and proficiently using proven sales strategies in a competent manner. The circle of influence draws upon what you've learned thus far in the program and pulls it all together so you can now use the strategies and tactics of influence in your presentation of homes and home sites. The circle of influence is a designed process intended to help you employ the principles of influence you've learned in the program. This is not to say that the principles must be used in this sequence. Rather, this is a framework that will provide you the ability to consistently use each of the principles. The circle of influence has an outer circle and an inner circle. The outer circle are the 6 key principles of influence, and the inner circle are the tactics used to guide the conversation with the customer throughout the sales process. The circle is in constant motion like a wheel. You'll be revolving through the circle multiple times with the customer. This active process of moving through the circle of influence will create not only a dynamic presentation for the customer, it will also enhance your effectiveness as a sales professional. Let's take a look at the outer and inner circles. The outer circle contains the 6 principles of influence we learned from Dr. Cialdini, with the principles of reciprocity, social proof, and liking. On the lower portion of the circle, the principles of authority, commitment and consistency, and scarcity are the underlying fundamental principles. The umbrella principles are strategies that allow you to establish trust with the customer, whereas the underlying principles provide you the tools to be a competent and successful agent of influence. If you use these 6 principles in the order in which you've learned them in the program, you will find that this process creates a cycle of influence. Once you get the cycle in motion, you will find your ability to employ the principles and to effectively use them will become second nature. These 6 principles also push a pattern to occur within the conversations you're having with guests as well. This pattern is what is identified within the inner circle of influence. The inner circle of influence includes what I call the 4 I's of influence: initiate, inquire, illustrate, and influence. These are really tactics of influence. If you use the 4 I's to guide your conversation, you will have a consistent framework for drawing upon the principles of influence. That is, each of the tactics directly draw upon the principles from the outer circle. A case in point, as you initiate a phase of the conversation, you will use the principles of reciprocity and social proof. First, to begin a new conversation or to begin a new phase of a presentation, you will enact the tactic of initiate. The fundamental characteristic of this tactic is control. To enact a disciplined sales presentation requires that the sales professional control the direction and nature of the conversation. When you initiate with a customer, you will draw upon the principles of reciprocity and social proof to provide you the fuel to build trust and to direct the course of the conversation. A case in point, when you're demonstrating the front architectural styles of a home, you'll want to direct the conversation toward this subject and point out how this home is popular among many consumers. The second tactic within the inner circle of influence is inquiry. As you learn in this program, in order for us to establish a relationship with a customer, and in order for us to understand the needs of a customer, we need to seek to understand before being understood. This tactic is characterized by the process of inquiry with the guest as to what they are seeking. Similar to all the inner circle of influence tactics, inquiry is something that will occur on a repeated basis throughout your encounter with a guest. Let me give you an example of how you might use inquiry in demonstrating a kitchen to guests. Before you demonstrate what we offer, it would be best to find out who is the cook in the family, or what are the important features to the customer in the kitchen. This simple act of inquiry allows you to draw upon the principles of social proof and liking as you point out to the customer that other people similar to them have found a certain feature to be of value. Once you have initiated the conversation and have made inquiries into the needs of a customer, we now reach the third phase in the inner circle, and that is to illustrate. In this phase, the sales professional will demonstrate key features. You might say that this phase of the influence process is akin to the traditional product demonstration phase. The difference, however, is that in this cycle of the influence process, you will not only demonstrate the features of a particular room or place, you will also consistently draw upon the principles of authority and commitment and consistency. A case in point, when you're demonstrating the master bedroom in a home, you may speak to the quality craftsmanship or the prestige of the architects as a way to draw upon the principle of authority. At the same moment, you may enact the principle of commitment and consistency by asking a customer if they can see themselves living in that room, or you might ask them how they might place their furniture in the room. The final phase of the inner circle is to actually influence the customer. In this context, influence refers to the act of getting a customer to make a stated commitment. This stated commitment may be small in nature, such as a traditional tie-down, or it could be as significant as asking a customer if they would like to take a home off the market. The goal is not to leave any conversation or stage in the presentation without trying to get a commitment from the customer. Another feature of this stage of influence is the use of the principle of scarcity. Scarcity is something that you will become a master at using throughout your home demonstration. To influence someone requires that you create a summary of their previous statements and commitments. You might think of the influence stage in your presentation as the summary stage, in which you restate your understanding of the customer's needs and you seek a commitment from them. Take the time to work with this material. Really dig in. Open your mind to new ways of thinking. Then apply the ideas and tools in your everyday encounters with customers. And then as you begin to do this, you'll begin to see things differently. You'll do things differently. And you'll begin to get dramatically different results. By engaging every day with these tools that make up the circle of influence, will provide the foundation for us to achieve the respect of others. Thank you.